to computer science again. We have been working on a slideshow. I understand that I think the slideshow may have actually been, or the assignment may have been taken out of Google Classroom accidentally by Mrs. Ray. So step number one is I want to show you how to get to that assignment, get to that slideshow, even though it's no longer in Google Classroom. It's not as easy as me just kind of reposting it because I had made copies of each of you and you've already started working on it. So let me show you where to go. If you open up like a new tab in Google Chrome like this, then you'll probably see something that looks similar to here, unless you've changed your background. And in the upper right-hand corner, we've got our waffle. Our waffle here has all of our connected apps. You may have noticed that some of the apps have started to change their logos. We're going to find Google Drive, which now looks like this, a little bit different. If you open up Google Drive, this is all the stuff that you have done in Google Drive, maybe papers you've typed, maybe Mrs. Ray has you doing stuff in Google Drive, which is great. There's two ways to find the slideshow that you've been working on. Slide number one, well, let me take that back. You got three ways. So in three ways, you could actually search your drive. So if you came up here to search the drive, you could type in, I think we call it state presentation. If you typed in state, it's probably going to pop up right here. That's a good way to search for it. Another way you could look for it is by coming over here to where it says recent. Recent shows you all the files that you have been working on recently. So here's the ones I did yesterday and ones I did earlier on in the week and last week and so forth and so on. There's a pretty good chance that you'll find one just right here in your recent files. The other way that you might be able to find that slideshow is by looking at your folders up at the top. One of the folders that you'll have is called Classroom. It's a folder connected directly to Google Classroom. So P.S., don't delete that one. If you click Open Google Classroom, like so, now I've got lots of classrooms that I'm a part of, but you could find your classroom that you're a part of. I'm going to use Ms. Hatch as an example. Then I'm going to find my slideshow right in there. So with those three ways, like it has to exist somewhere in Google Drive. So you can either search for it, go to recent, or find it in your classroom folder within Drive. And then once you find it, go ahead and open it up. I'm going to go here, recent, and open it up. Now, when it's open like this, we could also get to the Culturegrams page. If you haven't finished, it's not super important that you finish it for today's work. But if you'd like to get it done, you can go ahead and click on this link down here. This link, when you click it once, it'll actually open up like a second link down below. Oops. You can go back and fix that. Click that link and then fix this one right here. Clicking this link will send you to your Culturegrams page in a new tab. Here's our here's our state presentation right here. Here's our Culturegram tab here. I'll put the username and login into Google Classroom as well. It's 0981HART, HA11, login, and then you can find your state from here. What was I doing? Okay. Remember that what we were doing is we were putting in like information like from here over into our slideshow. So it looks like I got a lot done. What was I on to? Oh, cultural notes, it says. Okay, so in cultural notes, I was looking for fact one and fact two. Where's cultural notes? Here it is, cultural notes. Cowboy poetry. Let's see. I'll find one fact from here. 20 years, City of Elko's. Oh, okay. So let me write that in here. The City of Elko hosts a cowboy poetry festival. Okay. And that's all I would need you to do to complete that slideshow. Okay, so now on to today's task. Today we're going to make our slideshow look awesome, is basically what we are here to do. And I'm going to show you kind of the other ways to go about doing it. We before used a slideshow with our All About Me and picked a theme. When we pick a theme up here, we are able to change the background, and the color, and the size, the shape, and all that good stuff. And that's all well and good, but I want to show you how to do that on your own today. That's what we're doing. So first off, let's go ahead and click our first slide way up here. And when we do, we should see our toolbar up above. And the toolbar will be important. The toolbar is going to change as we go through and do different things. Notice how the toolbar looks when nothing on the slide is clicked. And then notice how when I click on a text box, the toolbar changes here. When I click over here to the side, that toolbar goes away. That's because the toolbar will change depending on what you have clicked. Right now, nothing is clicked, so the toolbar shows these are things that you can do for the entire slide. When I click like a text box, it'll say these are things you can do for just that text box. So it's important to know the difference there. Let's start by changing the background of our slide here. So I've clicked away. I want the whole slide background. Up at the top, we have background. In background, there's lots of things that you could choose to do. For instance, you might choose to do a color, like so. I might pick yellow. When I've got it, you can kind of see what it looks like in the background, and you can say done. All right, that looks good. I'm going to go on to another one. Now, something else you might choose to do would be to change it to a different color. Maybe you're going to have all different kinds of slide backgrounds. Maybe you choose an image. Yep, choosing an image is an option. Upload means that you have a picture on your computer that you would want to use. Camera would mean that you use your camera. You're probably not going to use that one. By URL would mean that you would know the actual website. Photos in Google Drive would mean, again, you have files and photos in Google Drive. But then last, we've got Google Image Search. And if you do a Google Image Search, you could type in something, try to make it relevant to your slideshow. I know that there's lots of cool things that are out there. However, if you start putting pictures of Iron Man on your slideshow about Nevada, like, it's not going to make any sense. A good presentation is going to have backgrounds and pictures and things that just make sense. So this isn't like your cool slideshow. This is a slideshow about your state. So try and make sure that you pick appropriate photos. Now, I like this photo right here. This is a great photo because it's the state flag of Nevada. And I also like it because it's not too busy. I'm going to click it and push insert, and it's actually going to make, there we go, it's going to make that the background. Now, I'm going to have to probably rearrange things, though, if I choose this option. For instance, I might have to move this so that I can actually see it down here, and I might have to actually move this too. You can rearrange the, by clicking and dragging on the different text boxes, like so. You can even make them bigger and smaller if you wanted to by clicking and dragging, just like we do an image. Notice that this now, like, I can't drag the background anymore. The background is set. It is not like an image that we're going to change. Okay. So while I'm doing this here, because I really like this, let's go ahead and talk about how to change your text then. As you just saw me do, all your text is in a text box, and that text box can be moved and rearranged, just like on an image. So here, when I click on the text box, I found that it was big, and I made it smaller by clicking and dragging on these corners that show up. When I click away from the text box, then those boxes, it goes away. I can tell where a text box is at, though, by moving my mouse. And when my mouse changes to be like a pointed arrow, like a 4-pointed arrow like that, that's how I know I'm over a text box. I can click on it. There it is. Let's see where this text box is at. Yep, there it is. One trick, though, is that if you move your mouse over like the actual letters, like so, it's going to change into that cursor. And clicking on that cursor is actually going to make you type straight into the text, but it won't make you be able to like change the font of the whole text. So there's a difference here. Here I'm writing, I'm changing the text. Here, I got to click away and click back onto it. Here, I'm actually changing the whole thing, and I'm not typing at all. It gets tricky, but give it a try. All right, so I'm going to make this one let's make this a little bit smaller to make it fit because it's not fitting on the thing. Another way that if you are actually typing like I am right now, you can always take your mouse right onto the edge if you click on the edge of your text box, wherever you get that four-pointed arrow like so, that's a way to select the whole entire text box and not just part of it. All right, I'm going to try and make this a little bit better now. I'm going to click this box, and it's readable, but it's not really easy to read. So I'm going to come up here to my text color, and in text color, I might choose a different text color, something that's more easily read. Oh yeah, that's good. On that dark background like so. I also want to make it maybe a little bit bigger. Now I can kind of push this plus button here and keep pushing it up, or I can click on the numbers themselves and pick a larger number. It's pretty good. Let me go up to 30 right there. Oh, okay. Oop, nah. I don't want it to go on the next line. So I'm going to just back it off by clicking that. There you go. Just one click of that minus button. Put it right there. Perfect. Let me change this one now. I'm going to go through. I'm going to click here. Maybe with this one, I want to change the highlight color. That's the background color. Maybe I'm going to choose a light blue like this. Oh, notice how it changes the background. A little bit bluer than that. I'm going to go to blue. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so now I've got the highlighted, the background, and that makes my dark letters kind of stick out more. Okay. All right, that works pretty good. One of the things I can also do, let me go back up here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to click this text box. Notice it's pretty big. Maybe I want to make it even bigger. Let me choose this one down here. Ooh, 60. I can also type it in myself if I want to. I'm going to choose 90. But yeah, that's pretty good. Font is up here. So maybe I'm going to choose a. Ooh, I like that. Nevada, Mr. Garver. Go through and you can start changing the font and the backgrounds of your thing. Now, I was going to say, let me come here to history real quick because I know some of you are going to find really cool backgrounds like images and whatnot. What if I chose a background like, oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a pretty cool one right there. Okay. This one, and I'm going to insert it, and I'm going to push done. This one's going to be really hard to try and do because you'll notice how it has light colors and it has dark colors. And even within this text box right here, like if I tried, let me try and make this a dark color like so. Ooh, it's really hard to read still. Let me make it a really bold dark color. Let me make it a pretty big like so. Okay, so like this is kind of the best you can do. Notice how the black really sticks out on the blue here, but it really gets faded into the rocks here and even into these darker rocks. This is still hard to read. Choosing a picture for your background can work. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you're going to have to be really careful about it because if it's a picture that it has tons of different colors to it, lights and darks, you might find that it is too hard to read. One option would be to like pick one with less colors in it. So for instance, this one here, I'm going to put this one in here. And in this one, I could take this, let's see, this text right here, and maybe I'm going to make it a little bit smaller like this. And then, oh, okay. Do you notice how now that text fits all up on a single color like this? This would be a good slide, one that you could easily read, and it was kind of cool like that. So that's one strategy you might have. Another strategy you could use, let me go back real quick. Don't forget the back button. Undo button here is pretty helpful, is to use that highlighting color. The highlight would actually put, here it is, the highlight would actually put color behind your words. It keeps your background as that one picture you really like, but now I can actually read it. When you're changing your fonts and your colors and your sizes and shapes and styles and all that kind of stuff, the most important thing is you gotta read the text. Okay, go through and change all of your backgrounds and your fonts and your colors and make it the way that you want. Pictures. So on each slide, it'd be great if you could also insert maybe a picture. Now, one thing to this would be that, you've already put in pictures on slides that look like this. So if you've chosen an image for your background, you might not need an actual picture to put in because this is already pretty big. There's not a whole lot of space left for a picture. And B, your background is the picture. So you're going to have to kind of decide what looks good on this one. On this slide here, like I've kind of got a picture, even though it's part of my background. So I might not have to choose to do a picture here. But definitely on a slide like this is pretty plain. And even if I made the font nice and cool, it's still going to need something else to go along with it. Same with my title here. So quick review, when we're ready to insert a picture in your toolbar, right up here, there's insert image. We're going to insert image from the web. So we're going to search the web, type for something relevant to your state presentation, Nevada or Nevada map or something. When I search, then you get a lot of different pictures that'll show up. Pick a picture. Oh, I like this one right here. Pick a picture, double click or click it once and push insert to put it into it. You can click and drag. Oops. Click and drag like so. And put it on, click and drag on those corners, kind of make it nice looking like so. You got to be perfect with your clicking and dragging. It's not just good enough to be close. You got to be absolutely perfect to get those corners to move. Helpful hint, if you end up moving different things, you're like, oh, I'm getting this all, and it's all getting deleted and all this kind of stuff. Oh, no. Don't forget, oh, no, I just deleted that. Don't forget about your undo button. Your undo button up here, undo, will undo your actions. So if it's not working quite right, undo it and then try and fix it the right way. You got to get absolutely perfect on these images. Okay. The last thing that you can do for something like this, for a slideshow I wanted to show you, go to a slide. It's called a transition. When you do a transition, your transitions are found up here. That's a way to make the stuff on your slide appear and show up and disappear. You can mess around with transitions up here like so. When you do a transition, it'll say, all right, what kind of transition do we want? Click on a box or an image. I'm going to click on this one. And we'll say add an animation. All right. This says that it is going to fade in on the click. Let's try it. Fade. Ooh, I can fade in. I actually all these options. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. When I click play, let's see what happens here. Give me a little preview. Nothing happens, so I'll click. Ooh. And then I'll hit stop to be done like so. Let me do one here. I'm going to now do this one. Notice how it says, so a slide transition is how one slide goes from it to another. I'll do that in a second. Object animations, that's what I'm doing right now. Right now I've got this one. Let me click this box and add something. There we go. I think I'm going to make it fly out to bottom. And maybe I'll click this box next. And I'm going to add animation. And let's see. So let's see this. Yeah, all right. So let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna hit play. All right, so the slide will go. Ooh, fun. Oh, did I rearrange things? I don't know. Let me push the present button up here. Present. I did get it all out of. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to have to play around with that some more, obviously. You can click and drag. So this one should have been up there. I think I get them out of order. Fly out on click, fly out to bottom. That's probably why I needed to do that. I don't want to fly out. I want to fly in. Fly in from left and fly in. There we go. Fly out, fly in. Okay. All right. Does that work? Let's say play. Yeah, it's nothing. Fly in. Fly in. Fly in. All right. Perfect. Cool. Mess around with those transitions. And if you want a slide transition, you click on a slide like so, and then it's over here where it says slide transition. There's lots of different slide transitions, like slide to left. You can apply them to all slides or just one slide. Each slide has its own transition. Let me see what that looks like. Play. We'll do this. Okay, cool. I'll do that too. All slides like so. All right. So now the rest of this time is just yours to make this slideshow cool. Do the background, do the fonts, do the colors, do images, add transitions if you want. Play around with it, have fun, get to know kind of what a slideshow can do and all of the different features in it. And I will see you next week.